20 minutes away from 10, just to let you know that all the songs we're playing on the show this evening are requested by you. Yes, you. And if you'd like more of your songs to be requested to us on the show this evening, it's fairly simple. You can send us a voice note to 060-552-7303. You can go into the Metro FM Facebook page. You can go into X right now, hashtag Life and Music, and you can actually request your songs, and we'll gladly play them on the show this evening. Thus far, we played Usher, Monica Slow Jam, alongside Boyz II Men Dreams, and Eric Benet, the track called Love of My Own. We have a wonderful person in studio, and she's looking absolutely beautiful. And I always wish that Metro FM was televised, because we have to show what beautiful people look like. And they're really beautiful, you know? And I'm trying to find another word in the English dictionary that describes the beauty that I'm seeing right now. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you? And I'm blushing. I'm too dark to blush.
Madam Speaker, welcome to the show.
Thank
CEO
you.
of Self Love. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
All good, all good. And,
Yeah.
you know, I was actually at home last week while I took off some time, and I was just bored at night and going through YouTube.
Yeah.
And I bumped into you on YouTube, and I actually watched, I think you're interviewing a gentleman. It was a beautiful topic.
Yeah.
I was high in meds, so I kind of forgot what the topic was.
Yeah.
But it was a really good topic, because I watched it to the end, but then I fell asleep and I woke up in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes, but thank you.
Is it recent?
Yes, it was quite recent.
Yeah, I think it's a gentleman was talking about how cheating is not accidental and all that stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I figure on the show today we're talking about Bob the Builder, right?
Yeah.
And for a person like me that was kind of clueless about Bob the Builder, I figure you're going to have to give us what Bob the Builder is, or kind of define it within a relationship. What is Bob the Builder?
Bob the Builder can be, let's say, maybe with you, right? You're a guy and you have this woman that you love so much, but she's not doing so well for herself. And then you decide that you're going to invest in her future because, I mean, you guys are building, right? And once you're done being Bob the Builder, it can either go south or go north. So if it goes south, then yeah, it means that you build her up for somebody else. So you just became Bob the Builder, and then somebody else who's her type comes and snatches her from up there where you put her. And if it goes north, then at least you get to win, because it's a win, because the two of you are now building together. But in most cases, whew, hectic.
Now, what happens in the case where Bob the Builder built a relationship and the person kind of consumed everything of the relationship, and then they found someone else out there that they think is on their level now, and doesn't really go too well there, because somehow the expectation that this person has from what she initially had with you grows higher.
Yeah.
And then when she gets to meet that person on a higher scope, she's going to most probably look for someone higher. But somewhere you get to crash, or does it, or life give you more blessings and you carry on with Bob the Builder scenario?
I think as a Bob, if you're going to be the Bob, right, in your head you're thinking, I'm building so that, you know, we can be good and everything. You're not thinking about how when she goes up there, she's actually going to beat people who are going to be her type now, you know. So unfortunately, you're going to crash and burn, you know, in most cases. But yeah, some people do actually succeed in it.
Is there any advantage to Bob the Builder?
Yeah, there is.
Is Bob the Builder only there for a specific season and time, and thereafter, you know, his time is done or their time is done, and they get to move on to another scenario? Is it bad being Bob the Builder?
No, it's not bad being Bob the Builder, especially if once you build with me, I appreciate you, right? And I understand why you're building with me, and then I'll just put back into the relationship. But in most cases, you know, we human beings, we're never satisfied. You know, once you build me up and I now walk in boardrooms where I feel like there's my type now, start looking at you like, what the hell was I doing with this man? You know?
Now, for Bob the Builder at the receiving end who feels that he got cheated, I mean, how do you console yourself that you plowed so much resources into this person? You saw something beyond this person, and you wanted to build this person from a genuine place in your heart. But can I say, as Bob the Builder, is there a genuine place where you build genuinely, or you build because you're kind of selfish and you want that person to yourself?
Sometimes it is genuine, you know, because for other people, especially those who have maybe fears of losing a parent or whatever, they would want to help you build so that if maybe you have a kid together, they'll be thinking when they die, at least you'll be able to take care of the kid, you get. So that's from a good place.
Yes.
But for other people, it's I'm building you so that you can stay here because you owe me, you know, for the rest of your life.
Now, is there stigma attached to being Bob the Builder in a relationship, and how does that come across?
Well, if you Bob the Builder, people obviously already see you as somebody who's stupid. And in most cases, it's us women who do Bob the Builder thing, you know. And I know that the last time when I was here, I mentioned people from the Department of Health. Those are the original Bob the Builders who'll be buying taxis for men, all right? And we look at them. Already when you see somebody in that uniform, you'll be like, you Bob the Builder, you know. So there's a stigma around being Bob the Builder.
If you're just tuning into the show, we got Madam Speaker, the CEO of Self Love, in the studio. Tonight, we're talking about Bob the Builder. And a lot of people might be kind of confused as to what Bob the Builder is. Basically, it's someone who goes into a relationship and builds a relationship. There's either two outcomes. Either they carry on with that person, or they get dumped by that person because that person thinks that they really need someone else.
Yeah.
Now, Bob the Builder, I figure I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
And I see it so many times, especially on social media. Has social media got an influence on Bob the Builder and the person that he's building with and the outcome?
Yeah, it does. You know, because if you are seeing other people doing so well, you know, and you have this person that is not matching up the standard of what you're seeing on the socials, obviously you will want to, you know, upgrade them a little bit without knowing that when you upgrade them, now the DMs are busy now, you know. Yeah.
Okay. Now, being Bob the Builder, is it necessarily good in a relationship, or is it really not a good part to be in a relationship? And how long is your lifespan?
If I'm on the receiving end, I'd never say no to somebody who wants to be the Bob the Builder in my life.
wouldn't.
I'd never say
Never.
no. So even if I can see that, oh, this one I'm going to dump him. But if you want to be Bob the Builder, I'm just going to say, oh, okay, cool. Give it, you know, keep it coming. But the good thing about it is if I really value you and I understand that it's coming from a good place and I just want to keep it going. But now, you know how when somebody has helped you out, they know you at your weakest and your lowest. So there's always going to be this hanging cloud over you that, you know, like you heavy on me now because, you know, I feel like I owe you for the rest of my life. So sometimes the relationships, they crash and burn simply because I, as the person you helped, I feel like, okay, now I'm going to owe you for the rest of my life. You know how back in the day they would say that if I save your life, you owe me. So you must be my slave. You get what I mean? So it's something like that. So people don't want to be reminded of when they were at their lowest. That's why usually when it's a man who was being built, when they get up there, they find women who are their types and they're like, I'm gone, because I don't want a woman who's looking at me and remembering the time when I didn't even have pants. I want a woman to respect me and honor me. You get what I mean? Yeah.
Now, when you become Bob the Builder, right, and you get to the short end of the stick where you feel that, or that person feels that you're not really where they want you to be or where they want to be in their lives, and you were this Bob the Builder and you're building all the time, and that person kind of dumps you for someone else, what and how do you remedy your heart and your mind? And how do you then let go of that particular situation? Because I would feel aggrieved. Imagine if me and you were dating, and you did not have much, and I did not have much, and you helped me to get to somewhere. I tend to feel that, you know, somehow gratitude and being thankful for how I helped you is what the order of the day would be. And then the next thing I know, whoop, you're gone. You're like, okay, you're not on my status anymore.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
In most cases, you don't even want to trust people anymore. You don't want to help people anymore. You get what I mean? So other people have to suffer for what the previous person did to you. I think that in general is what happens when relationships come to an end. If you don't want to go therapy, healing, and whatever, the next person is probably going to suffer for the things that the previous person did to you.
And then from the other point of view, you as a person that had Bob the Builder in your life, that person was there, they helped you, they grew you, they did everything, and then you dumped that person for another person that you think is got more resources. How do you sleep at night?
Let me tell you about people who are unapologetic when they, you know what they'll tell you? They'll tell you that I never asked you to help me.
Yes.
You voluntarily helped me out, so I don't owe you anything.
Yes.
They're so ungrateful.
Now, when that particular situation happens, you know, once again, I know I asked you the question before.
Yeah.
What do you do? Okay, I think in this situation, there's two viewpoints.
Yeah.
There's a viewpoint from a female.
Yeah.
And what I'm starting to get to see, and I'm starting to get to see quite a lot of that, is successful women that climb the corporate ladder, become Bob the Builder when they get to meet a gentleman at a chisanyama or at a party, and then he proclaims to be this tenderpreneur, and the money's always coming next week, and then she helps him, and then after they have a kid, and he totally disappears.
Yeah.
You know, from that point of view, I get to see that quite a lot.
Yeah.
But then from a male point of view, we get to see a gentleman who kind of believes that he's met a young girl on Instagram and he can grow with her. And, you know, she just there for the moment.
Yeah.
Are those two situations different or they're the same?
I think with men, because, they're not like us who can really just cry it out and whatever, that's where some people actually even get killed. It really does influence the whole GBV thing, because a man sees you doing so well for yourself after he helped you, and you're just going to go move on and be with the CEO of your company. Like, there's no way he's going to let you go like that.
060-552-7303. Want to get to find out from Metro FM listeners. Are you Bob the Builder? Have you been in a particular situation where you helped someone out that you truly thought you could have a future with, and then halfway down the end of this beautiful relationship, you got dumped and she went on, or they went on to someone else that they thought was a lot better than you? Or maybe you are Bob the Builder and you found someone that you've been building something with, and it's a beautiful story to tell, and you guys are still together, because we do believe there is some good stories out there. You can send us a voice note at 060-552-7303. This evening we got Madam Speaker, the CEO of Self Love, inside the studio. Today we're talking about Bob the Builder. I think there's many ways of one can actually describe Bob the Builder. Bob the Builder is someone that is invested into a relationship, thought that the person that they're investing in was genuine and legit, and they only get to find out at the end, well, they really weren't.
Yeah.
And most of the cases that I'm sure that you're starting to see in your social media handle are stories where people just found out that they're Bob the Builder, for instance, for 13 years.
Yeah.
Why is it always the case that there's always a bad ending to this?
I think it's just too bad that we actually realize at the end of the relationship. And when you look back, you realize that actually I'm the only one who's been investing the whole time. I've been way ahead of this person the whole time, and the other person was just doing nothing. But while you're still in it, you don't see it. But other people see it from the outside. And obviously, anybody who advises you, they're jealous of you and your love for your man.
You become offended.
Yeah.
But then how do you get to realize that at the end, this was just a situation, transactional relationship? I mean, do you have to do self-introspection? Do you have to let bad situations happen?
You burn out.
Yes.
It takes you burning out. As a woman, women don't give up for nothing. They get to burn out first, go to a psychiatric ward, or just be sick or something like that. Then they get to realize.
We seem to have a voice note. Let's get to find out what Metro FM listeners are saying about tonight's topic. Okay, we're just going to play that again. Let's try and play it again. Yes.
That's a very triggering topic for me. I've been involved in older, I think, in two relationships. They were quite serious, both of them. The first was with my baby daddy. Didn't work out, and for some reason, I feel like in some cases, most of the builders are born like that. It's a gift then, to just be willing to help people and have that general feeling whereby you just want to see your partner succeed and succeed as a couple. So it's something that comes naturally. You can't be that selfish person, especially when it comes to your partner. And it's said that sometimes you don't need a brother builder who's in the same page with you, and you have to get to the healing process and then try again, and then meet another person who might take advantage of being of the builder, and then you fall down again. So I fell down again, and I'm in my waiting area, and I'm praying, that God will one day give me also about the builder and we can build each other. But for now, I won't lie, I feel myself is the most peaceful place I've ever been in. Going on now my second year, being a very single, beautiful mother, and I'm enjoying it. I won't lie, the space, it's beautiful.
A gloss says, hey Paul, I think I'm Bob the Builder, but I'm okay with the outcome. They can dump me, it's fine. It just means that we're not meant to be each other. I can't force it, but I know that I left some sort of mark with them because they will always want to rekindle what they had and what they lost. Is that the proper sentiment?
Sure, I've been shaking my head the whole time because I believe that there is no way you can just be having this, muscle of being Bob the Builder in you. I believe that people don't want to heal, and you keep attracting the same type of people because you didn't learn your lesson from the previous relationship. You really didn't do self-introspection, because in most cases, the signs are always there from the beginning. But when it comes to red flags, as women, we are always colorblind. And the reason why we are colorblind is because we are hoping that, no, this time around, maybe it could be different. But in all honesty, the signs are always there in the beginning. And I think we give up on ourselves so much to a point where once you give up to a point where you would say, well, I just think I'm just Bob the Builder. Trust me, you're only going to attract those type of people.
Now, what are the signs? What are the red flags that you should kind of look out for as Bob the Builder with both sexes?
Well, for me, number one, if you're going to come here and say, I forgot my wallet, right? You can't be forgetting your wallet in this day and age. You understand? You forgot your wallet. You're waiting for a tender to pay out. I'm not doing that. Oh, I remember this one time I was seeing this guy, and it didn't even last. Trust me, because he told me that his car. I'm sorry, guys. You will forgive me. I don't date people who don't have cars, because I'm not about to pick up a guy in my car. Because I've had guys driving my car for a long time, right? So when you say, no, I had an accident last week, why didn't you tell me? Well, I didn't want to stress you out. The next thing, I must give you a lift. No, signs are always there. They can, look, I look like I have money, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so somebody's going to approach me thinking I have money. Now they want to eat my money with me, a few cents that I have in my pocket. So when I see that you are actually here for my few cents, it's done.
Just before you go.
Yeah.
I feel that Bob the Builder has got a big signage, an invisible sign around you that says, hi, I'm Bob the Builder. I'm open to abuse. I'm open to being taken for granted. I'm open to being taken all my money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is that really the case, that we systematically, subconsciously have the sign?
Yes.
And what is the things that we can change to prevent that from happening?
The sign number one of Bob the Builder, you're a people pleaser. And if you take people pleasing all the way back to where it started, in most cases, it starts from your childhood. You were neglected as a child. So when you have to heal from people pleasing, you have to know how to say no to people sometimes, even when you don't want to say, even when you know that, you know what, I can actually do it, but you just say no. So the fact that you don't know how to say no, it says a lot about you and your own childhood issues. So us being able to reverse all of that, you need to do some healing.
Funny enough,
yeah,
this topic started off very slow. Now the messages are coming in thick and fast.
Yeah.
And I cannot let you go because there's so many messages that we have to go through. I figure what people are starting to realize that they didn't understand what Bob the Builder meant in terms of the title.
Okay.
But they understand the activity as to what happens in relationships.
Okay.
And a lot of people are sending their voice notes through. And I'm trying to figure out what song I can actually play that kind of talks about Bob the Builder. I haven't really got a song as yet.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that Metro FM listeners in Metro FM land can give me a song that talks about that naughty person that wants to chow your ka-ching-ching.
Yes.
And it is Relationship Tuesday on the show tonight. Joe in the background, all the things your man won't do. We're hoping that somewhere out there we've got relationships that are actually working with responsible people in it. But sometimes Bob the Builder is, it's a very scary notion, hey? And it's happening. And it seems to be happening more on social media. And I think social media has become a living soapy. I don't think you have to watch TV nowadays. You just have to go to social media.
TV is boring.
We've got a couple of voice notes that came through. Let's get to find out what Metro FM listeners are saying about tonight's topic.
Building projects, stormwater projects, relationship projects, or whatever kind of projects. I build myself, you build yourself, and then we shall build. Not that I build you, not that you build me. Hey guys, you're speaking to Margaret Max. Being Bob the Builder, this really hit home. The reason why I say it hit home is because I was once a Bob Builder, and then with me it was worse because that person paid half of the lobola at home, and I was seeing a future with this person. But guess what happened? You build them, then they just just decide to go AWOL on you, go and get someone that is better and stuff,
And then when it does not work out, what do they want to do? They want to come back to you and fix it. So yes, I learned a very valuable lesson. So for now, to be Bob the Builder, I just advise. I'm not a Bob the Builder anymore.
So I think the concept of Bob the Builder is one that is a very dangerous game. I think it's honestly a hit or miss. Being a woman that wants to support a man's dreams, build a man into someone that you expected him to be, you do that successfully, get that right, and eventually the same man that you have created, this successful, well-dressed, well-spoken, well-mannered, a person that you've socialized with, things that you want him to be socialized with, ups and leaves and goes and bees that Bob for another builder. And once she gets him, he's the perfect guy, and now you've lost. So it's a very dangerous game to play. I mean, if you are successful, good, but 9 out of 10 times, it does result in a miss.
Those are the many messages that have come through on the show this evening. And, one thing I've kind of noticed with those messages, it's predominantly women.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that women are saying that it's come to an end. We are not Bob the Builders anymore.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that people are starting to become wiser, that, certain individuals, whether it be a gentleman, a female, you have to get to a certain point where Bob the Builder stops.
Yeah.
But it always takes time. And you somehow lose quite a lot because you've invested in this.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that if someone is Bob the Builder out there, that when they get to realize that they were Bob the Builder from day one, that they can walk away without doing anything dangerous or stupid or violent. They can just pick up and say, it's fine. And, let karma deal with the rest.
Yeah. But with women, yes, women in most cases, they do that, where they just walk away and just lick their wounds from a corner. But with men, it's another story altogether. Yeah. But I feel like, like we were saying earlier on off air, that in most cases, the reason why we are seeing a lot of men being the ones who are being built is because women are being given more opportunities now. We go to school, same school, we graduate, and then they say because they're trying to empower women, they give me the job, they don't give you the job. That means that now with the money that I have and so many, like with a few men that are out there who are going to be on my level, I must come and pick you up now and be Bob the Builder and build you up. And once I'm done with you, you actually realize that, actually, I never really liked dark-skinned girl with the big whatever. I just prefer tiny women. So I'll just, now that I'm good, I'll go for my type.
Okay, we're going to take a short commercial ad break. Back after this.
Add extra wow to your celebrations with
Okay, we're just going to wrap up right now. 20 minutes after 10. Good evening. Welcome to the show. These songs are dedicated to all the independent people out there. It might be independent women. It can also be independent men as well. And for those that are saying that we are no more going to be Bob the Builder, but we're going to build ourselves. And that's the topic that we're having on the show this evening. And what do you think about the two songs we played? I figured
The songs are very relatable, very relevant.
Now, to someone at home who's just kind of realized that they've been Bob the Builder, they only realized right now listening to the show, they're like, hey.
Actually,
Yeesh.
this is the reality of my life.
I just transferred money to this guy.
The thing is, when we do these things, we don't talk about it. We only talk about it afterwards. Now they're doing it in secret. We even give them our cards and say, baby, swipe, ne, so that people don't see that is my money, ne. They must respect you. That's us. We build in secret.
Geraldine says, hey, Paul, very insightful topic that you're having on the show this evening. I am no more reconstructing.
Sure.
No more. I bambata the hair if he wears red socks.
Sure.
And that's some of the messages coming through.
Yeah.
I know we got a lot of voice notes. What we're going to do is going to take a short commercial ad break and go to them. But before we get to them, how do people get hold of you? And I understand that you're doing some really amazing things right now.
I am on social media. All platforms is Madam Speaker or Perseverance Maremeni. I'm on YouTube as well. I have a podcast called the Safe Space Chats Podcast where people come in there and share their story. You're more than welcome to join us, all right?
I don't even know what to talk about.
Anything. All the stories you always tell us off air.
I didn't say anything. I didn't mention names.
Nah.
So
Yeah.
maybe I can come through,
Yeah, you should come through. And also, we just recently opened a foundation called Madam Speaker Foundation where we're really just helping people out get up, pick themselves up. And we call it Talita Kumi, Little Girl Rise Up, because we know that a lot of people are down and out and they really do need a helping hand for them to get up. So we're busy with that as well. And all these other things that we've been busy with, we're still busy with that as well.
Thank you so much. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that just might need some sort of help, whether
Yeah.
it be just a phone call to listen to, some situation that they're in, and some small advice kind of helps.
Yeah.
Can they get hold of you personally, or you rather prefer them to go through your socials?
They always, on my social media, there's a number there, but it goes through to my PR. I've made it in life when you have PR, ne? So I do have a number that they can actually get a hold of my PR on. And can I give it out on air?
Please do.
Oh, it's 081-049-3934. So when they get through to that number, I know that a lot of people get them like, listen, I want to make you my wife. Listen, you're not going to get through to me. This one is a gatekeeper here.
More music after this.
Metro FM. It's where you want to be. Live Nights Thursdays. Featuring the best in live music from your favorite artists. Get ready for a musical journey like no other. Metro FM. It's where you want to be.
Hi, Mr. Paul. Yo, I'm also Mr. Bob the Builder. Now, I saw flames early this year, December 31st and the 1st of January. I saw flames. So when I was doing okay, I was helping this lady out. We were together for almost a year. And then she was studying, doing her studies. I was helping her with everything that she needed. And then around October, November last year, my financial life went south. It all went south. Then the girl, December, I don't know if she was experiencing December fever or what. And then she showed me flames, bruh. She went and do things with her ex. I think her ex was okay for December bonuses and stuff. She did. She showed me flame, and she thought that I wouldn't know, but I found out. That part of finding out, I wish I didn't find out, but then at least. So anyway, I was Bob the Builder. Now I'm entering 3 months single, but I'm doing okay. I'm listening to you, other people's advices. Yeah, everyone is going through a lot. Can you please heal my heart with that song that I once requested from you? I don't know the name and the name of the song and the name of the artist. I can only try and sing it for you. You, na 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 na. Open your eyes.
This is why they left you.
Please. This is for the last time. I'm asking you for the same song. I need to download it. I don't have it. I can't get hold of it in my internet and Shazams. I'm trying by level best, but I get totally pina words.
Good evening, Metro FM. I would like to remain anonymous, but I'm contacting you from the Free State in Bethlehem. I think I've been a Bob the Builder from day one. I'm in marriage, 10 years, and I have only had a peace of mind for 2 years. The first 2 years of marriage was exceptional until my husband started cheating. So why I'm saying the topic is triggering, because I've been building financially, emotionally. I was available and he was nowhere to be found. If I could mention 1 or 2 incidents, is I've been there for, I'm the one that noticed that his child from the previous relationship was raped. I went to court and until the guy got sentenced. So I've been building to a point where I'm at the standstill. So I'm not contributing anything emotionally or financially. And he's the one that wants to start building now, because he realizes how much of the time he is wasted playing and fooling around.
I think that's the messages that are coming through on the show right now. With regard to the last caller, marriage, and then you get to find out that the gentleman is cheating, and then you sacrifice quite a lot because
Yeah.
she sacrificed a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
And she's gotten to a point where she's given up. And I don't say given up, I think she's got to a point where she's done.
Yeah.
And then the person that was receiving all the goodness and the money and the beautiful things now wants to come back and somehow wants to rekindle. Your advice to her, what would it be?
In most cases, when people realize that you're actually done with them, that's when they try to attempt to get you to be back to where you were. So it's not always genuine, but you can give it a try if you really feel like, there's something deep down in you that still wants to give it a try. But in most cases, it's very strategic. Because, for 10 years, somebody has not been listening to you crying. But now that they see that you're done, it's only now that they want to fix things. So you can stick around, but I can tell you now that once they see that you've let your guard down, you've gotten over it, it's back to the way they've been doing it before. So you need to be very careful with that one.
And then the gentleman with December fever. I just figured it was December fever. And what really happens is I think you get to kind of see people's true motives in December.
Yeah. I'm trying to imagine, I'm so sorry, but I'm thinking, this brother was probably singing to this lady, humming these songs like this the whole time. That's why she ran away. But on a serious, I'm kidding. On a serious note, though, in most cases, Paul, you can see that somebody does not love you, but because you want to throw money at them or you want to be useful, people want to feel important. And in most cases, money is one thing that makes people feel important. So you can throw money at somebody because you want them to value you. And they can also see that this person is actually throwing money at me because they are buying me. So once you can't afford to buy them anymore, they don't see the need to stay with you anymore.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much for coming through. One thing by having you in the studio is that we get to talk about life's issues. And I love the fact that you are one of the people that people can go to on social media and different platforms and get to talk about life's real issues.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you're real about life's issues.
Yeah.
I think what we tend to do is that we'll kind of listen to people that will say everything will be okay. And we do that because we want self-comfort.
Yeah.
But sometimes we need reality in a particular situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes reality is far better than the love and the nurturing and the nice words that you get from your mom and your dad and your cousin, because they all want the best for you.
Yeah.
And they'll only obviously say what's going to make you feel better that particular time.
Exactly.
When outside voice or an outside person who gets to look internally rather can get to see that, this is what you're going through, this is what the particular situation is, and this is the realness of life.
Yeah.
And it's sad to know that sometimes we need that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm one of those people that actually when people come to me and say, I want to hear your opinion, they say, I know you're going to give it to me real. So if they're not ready for real, they never come to me.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much for coming through.
Definitely,
it is always a divine pleasure having you in studio. And I think your parting words of good wisdom to people out there, based upon anything that you can give, because I figure what I try to do with the show is trying to always make sure that we discuss a life issue, but we depart with beautiful, sensible, encourageable words that might be a word of encouragement for anything that you might be going through within your life right now personally.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I can leave the listeners out there with is you always have to be realistic with yourself no matter how difficult the situation is. Because the more you deceive yourself is the more you just delay the process of either ending whatever that you're in or just making it better. So when you are realistic with yourself, it's literally the same as you standing in front of a mirror naked. You know that you don't have to pretend you are with yourself. So once you become realistic with yourself, by yourself, then it'll be easy for you to accept the reality of your life. So acceptance is always key.
Guys, that's the show this evening. I have chosen a couple of songs after the air break, which kind of just talks about Bob the Builder, what happens in Bob the Builder situation, and what you do if you are within the Bob the Builder situation. It's songs of healing.
Oh, look at the crew clamoring for
thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you many
Thank you. Just to let you know,